women, especially New York women, that like inspire us and are kind of like forgotten and you know we don't really know much about. And we found Emily Warren. We were so inspired by her story.
Which is the woman that took initiative and responsibility of finishing off the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Amazing.
Yeah, after her husband got sick due to decompression sickness, she had no choice but to take it over, or else it would have never gotten done.
Especially because none of us really knew anything about engineering, you know.
We're the hidden profession. we're the ninjas. We keep the architects. You know,
I like that.
legal. No, we are. This is, you know.
It was just a great learning experience, and the story just like touched us so much. So we're really excited to kind of like share this with people because we've met so many people, and some of them have been like, "Yeah, we know who Emily Warren is." Others have been like, I kind of heard about her, but I don't know that much. And some people are like, oh my god, I know her story. That's so amazing.
Yeah, and not only that, it's because many people know Emily Warren as Washington Roebling's wife, not as the person that finished the bridge.
Yeah, so Christine knew the whole story and was so excited. And I was like, who? What? Brooklyn Bridge? I had never heard. Lived in New York my entire life. Never even knew this. So, I mean, it's amazing. And it's so exciting.
Not only an icon, not only just a bridge, but it's what really connected Brooklyn with the rest of New York City.
Right.
Yeah.
The way to get across is just the ferry.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, it was just times because it was either before the bridge, it was either get across a ferry, but if the river was frozen, then you would have to either walk or skate.
Either way, we contributed to each thing, even if we weren't supposed to be a part of it.
Oh, okay. So it's collaborative.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which is
nice.
really
That's
good.
awesome. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
One scene that my friend and I worked on is when a couple of the men of the workmen are confused about a certain part of how to build the bridge, and Emily sits down with them and talks to them about building
We love that scene.
I know what you're talking about.
We love that
because
scene.
back then, they had to demonstrate to the populace, to the state, that the bridge could work as is because it's what is it? You have partial cantilever, and so they had to show like, yo, it's gonna work. Like this is, so they actually had guys mimic the suspended cables and show that section could be supported. So it's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah.
The Roebling family had the Roebling company wires. They had their own wiring thing. But when John Roebling and Washington Roebling were commissioned to build this bridge, they didn't want to use Roebling wire because they thought that it would be a conflict of interest. So they had this other company. What's his name?
I'm not sure. Oh wait, no, Mr. High.
Yes, Mr. High. They had him choose, like, you know, they had his company do the wire. Washington like felt bad about the wire, and like they had someone like inspect it and, you know, follow the wire, you know, from inspection to when they got in the bridge, and they saw that people were putting faulty wire there, which is kind of really interesting, you know, when we found that out, because we didn't know.
You just go walk out on that bridge. They had people
During
walking the cables and
They had, like, the-
tightroping walking, right?
Yeah, they had
And it wasn't until they had incidents that they then started restricting access to them, which I found like it's about 1,000 years ago. We try to stretch them because nowadays people specialize a lot in things. We don't like them getting caught in that trap. Well, I do electrical engineering.
That's it. That's all I do.
This type of line design and blah, 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 blah. So if that becomes obsolete, so are you. So when we bring in the kids coming out of school, it's like, no, don't walk into a building and only pay attention to the stuff you think you're focusing on. You need to become an expert in everything in that building. That's how you become most valuable as a firm. That's how you become most valuable in your career. Because if the people that have really succeeded, their degree and what they did back in school when they started is so far removed from what they're doing now because they picked up so much stuff during the career. It becomes, at a certain point, it becomes less about what you learned in school and more about what you've learned in your career, right? So what you've built on from that. And the people that are most valuable ultimately are the people that's like, yeah, it's something to do with the building, yeah, I got it.
It's like, that's kind of how we like in school, how at least like our theater club runs, and like how we kind of like train the actors and the techies and everything, because like we don't have like a giant like crew or technical program, so most of our actors also like, you know how to do props or set or light or sound or costumes. Like everyone at some point had to cut out a costume, sew something. It's amazing.
No, look at this guy. He's probably done every single job at this company. you have to. That's a successful company is someone who knows all the ins and outs of the people that are here. So yeah.
But here, that the eclecticism of our architecture and of our built environment is so important that you understand the whole gamut of it if you're going to be successful. Because most building owners, most real estate people, will look for an opportunity in a building. They won't say, "Oh, I'm not interested in that opportunity because that building is from the 50s." You know, it's irrelevant. They're just looking for the financial opportunity. So if they need help with a building, they don't want to hear you say, "Oh, I don't know that vintage."
It's so cool how like the story you're gonna do ties into all that.
Yeah.
New York City,
Yeah.
it's like it is a giant museum, especially for buildings. Like for us, it's like such a cool place to work because so much ground was broken here.
Yes.
As far as construction, and you know, notwithstanding, of course, the Brooklyn Bridge. It's like for bridges, it did so much. It was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's so iconic, you know, to really do it. And then you got a native right here. So this is so yeah. But yeah, and thank you for doing this because no one knows what we do for a living. So
That's insane. I never thought that like a company like this basically existed. Like the idea, honestly, because basically it's just the idea that you guys are, in a sense, a jack of all trades. You guys get called for anything and you can do that anything. That's wow.
Hi, so we just finished a meeting with RAND, an engineering firm, and honestly, after that meeting, I feel like our show is so strong. They kind of validated everything that we've been like including in our show, and it was so exciting to just meet them because they were so excited about the show, and you know, they knew what we were talking about, and they knew the story, and it's just exciting to see their energy because it makes us even more excited.
It was so nice to actually be able to have a meeting with people and talk about others who already know sort of about Emily's story. It was really nice to like say, "Oh yeah, I know this. Did you include this? Yes, we did." It was so amazing being able to not only validate our show, but be able to talk about the story itself.
Some points were fun because we taught them things that they didn't know about our story. Yeah. And it was just kind of surprising but funny because like we got to teach them instead of them telling us what we know.
They were very supportive, which was so nice. It's like we're really grateful that we got to meet with them.